Video Game Podcast.
EA confirms a Dead Space remake is headed to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC.
Oh, shit.
I was happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so tell us what you think about this.
Yeah, because I'm the only one that freaking really played.
No, I
the
played
whole
part one.
series.
Well, I played
the
whole
demo.
series.
I played a demo.
This is
That
part one. We don't need to hear about the whole series.
I played them all, y'all. I played them all.
But listen,
No,
this
but
is
part
all right,
one.
This just came. This is
Go ahead,
recent.
tell me what you got.
This is recent.
Yeah.
Still,
Yes.
to me,
Yeah.
I think it's like that was a smooth game. It wasn't like it was choppy.
That looked really fucking good.
It looked good. It played smooth. The story was fine. The game was great.
Doesn't need a remake.
So I don't think that it needed to be redone. I mean, I
It
didn't
was
hear
60
much.
frames, right?
Yes,
60 frames.
it already
God,
was.
Doesn't even remake.
Doesn't need a remake.
Already was. But I didn't hear anything that they didn't, or they had to cut. Like I thought that was like a finished game.
To be honest,
unless they did have a lot of stuff they didn't put in and they couldn't because of the technology.
There
but
was a documentary on the making of Dead Space and the whole franchise in general, like all the games.
did it sound like they were like
They did have a budget. The thing is, it's like a scary movie, right?
Yeah.
Like what you take the first genre of a scary movie, they usually don't have the budget.
it wasn't a
and they
franchise
did-
yet, so they
right.
didn't get to put in everything they wanted.
Exactly. So I'm sure there was stuff that they wanted to put in there and they cut it out. They put a lot of it in part 2.
Trying to get people heart attacks.
Part 2 was
Scary.
In my opinion, I love 2. 2 is my favorite out of the whole entire series. 2 is equivalent to the Resident Evil 2, like as far as that, like the remake. It's on that level, and like it's really really well done.
I've been avoiding Dead Space for a hot minute.
Great. It's a great game.
It's an awesome series. Very new type of gameplay, and I like the protagonist, like the main character. Awesome.
He's a chunk of meat.
That's what it turns into
chopped
when you
up.
kill
I just like that. So, like every
It's a cool design.
the character himself is a well written character because he's not a badass. He's just a space miner. It just so happens to be in the wrong place
He's like,
at the wrong time.
Oh, what's that?
And even the weapons that he uses are mining tools that he just has to like use to dismember.
I like the weapons in that,
necromorphs.
man.
Anyway,
You chop limbs.
the game, in my opinion, I'm like split on this because it's like on one hand, I'm like, this doesn't need a remake.
They said they're doing it from the ground up.
And on the second hand, I'm curious to know.
No assets.
Well, I'm curious to know what they will come up with because after playing the Resident Evil 2 remake,
They added stuff there. Yeah.
and they added stuff like very well, like really, really well done. I think they could probably do something along those lines with this.
I like to see them take advantage of the technology.
I was thinking it's more of a see, it's like when you go to like especially like the classic survival horror titles, you know, like the Resident Evils and all that.
Franchise.
This one is kind of weird. I mean, I just played the demo, right? And I thought it looked very, very good. But the thing with this, if they're doing it more so because they couldn't do what they could
They
do,
had ideas
yeah,
that
and
they
then that
couldn't.
they couldn't do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Right.
But as
If
a
it's-
cash out,
If it's Last of Us, like that's being remade, or
Right.
Resident Evil 4, no, I'm not
need.
about those.
No need.
If it's Dino Crisis, which people have been begging for, yeah, then people are gonna do a backflip off the
Right.
fucking house or some shit. But like,
Right.
this is kind of like in the middle where it's like, I don't think it's more for let's beef up the graphics, even though that's going to happen. It's
Right.
more of we couldn't do these things.
maybe they had like
right.
more enemies.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
maybe like the space they wanted to open more or something.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the corridors are,
Or maybe
they need the corridors.
maybe
Well,
it's a reboot of the series.
It's
you
when they
know?
redo it,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe because I heard a lot of bad things about 3, even though some people say it's not as bad as people say. But maybe it's just kind of a
Well, 3 was
Bring it
made.
back, you know?
The thing that got me was that I love the Dead Space series, and the thing that makes a game scary to me is the fact that it's like a single player. Like if you're alone, being lonely, or being in a freaking thing by yourself.
Being lonely is never fun, man.
Fending for
It's that
yourself
sad thing.
is the scariest thing. Like, but if you have a co-op partner, it's obviously you can make it jump scares and stuff. You can make it intense, but to me, it's more scary to be by yourself in a situation like that. But anyway, that was the third one.
maybe
The
that's
first one-
Maybe that's the game we'll get chocolate play. Dead Space 1. Maybe
Not-
that's.
Well, they didn't give a date.
I think that's well. The
No,
They
thing,
didn't give a- they didn't give a date
well,
for
the
the
first,
review.
on the first
We
game,
need him soon to play something. So this isn't coming out soon.
When I watched that documentary on the making of the first one, first game, the limitation that they had was that they didn't have enough time to make different areas.
Yeah.
And they expanded upon that on the sequels, right? But the first game, because they only had a limited,
Spaceship,
they
it's
could
in the
only
corridors
design
and
like
stuff.
certain things. You had to backtrack a lot. But what the genius of it was what they did with the story to change it. It was like
Those
it
creatures
was
are
crazy.
fucked up. Those creatures.
They did change. They did a lot of things with the story, not to give anything away, but they
But
did
the
a lot
thing
of
is,
things
it's
with the
not
story.
as old as something like Final Fantasy VII, so the
Right.
drastic difference
No.
Right.
won't be as big. But obviously, with the it's gonna look better. It's gonna look smoother. The lighting's gonna be better,
Yeah.
and I guess the atmosphere is gonna be insane. So yeah, that's like that might be. I haven't heard of many scary games coming out for the new systems.
Right.
No,
And
no.
they're gonna all pop out like around Halloween. It's gonna pop out, and then you're gonna see people dying live on Twitch and YouTube.
It's we're at the point where it's too real looking now.
They're gonna be streaming.
It's-
They're gonna be
it's-
streaming. Imagine the screams.
Jammer.
It's we got
Oh,
Shout out to
Jammer.
Jammer.
actually,
Shout
you
out
guys,
to Jam.
Chalk, hashtag Chalk and Jammer play Dead Space 3
Yes.
co-op.
Y'all are
Someone's
terrible.
gonna
No,
run
you
out
guys
of the
will
room.
probably enjoy it. You guys will actually enjoy it.
No, I want Chalk to play a foul one. You know, we'll do a poll. We'll do a poll on the channel and have people vote
Yeah.
for it. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead Space is pretty scary though, man.
That I didn't play
Pretty
it
damn
for a
scary.
reason because those creatures, I fucking hate creatures like that.
Dude.
And make like that's why the liquor in Resident Evil 2 is I don't like that creature.
Yeah.
Those things just give me like
They run up to you. They run up to you and choke slam your head off.
They do
They
like
give you the right. They give you the right tools to handle those.
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
what-
but like when I see them, I'm like,
Oh, dude,
I was like,
I'm telling you, man. It's.
I'll
you,
play it.
You
I
gotta,
will- I
you
will
gotta
play
get
Dead
in it, man.
Space.
It's.
I
Might
will.
have to.
You're
give
gonna
it a
be
shot.
pleasantly surprised when you do play it.
I hate them
telling
games
you.
with enemies that
Chuck.
make your skin crawl.
Don't,
all of them.
Dead Space
The sound effects.
Game
too.
Pass, right? Are they available on Game Pass?
Yes,
think so.
all three.
They
of
are,
them.
right? All three. Ooh,
Yeah.
All
Forget
three.
the remake.
Just play the new one. I mean, play the old one and get ready for the new one.
Actually, dude, I want to do a co-op with somebody on part 3, and I know Reggie
Reggie said yeah.
Reggie said yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
But I
Reginald.
want to play it with
Reginald.
the freaking channel, man. Somebody on the channel.
get Reggie on the channel.
He
There you
said someone
go.
on the channel. Get Reggie on the
Get
channel.
Reggie on the channel and play.
Reggie on the channel.
So you guys in the chat and in the comments, tell us if you played the original Dead Space and do you think it needs a remake and are you excited for the remake?
Probably not.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, he's so negative today.
Negative at
He's
the
so
end.
negative
He's
today.
like, you know what? Let's make it 4 before.
I
Let's do another one.
was gonna say before we were ending it off, and this is gonna get cut anyway. But I was gonna say, is this the where's the line between something retro and making it a remake? Like what?
This is not retro.
This is.
Well, it's
I'm just saying, like
2008.
What's the
It's not a
line?
ways. It's a long time ago.
PS2 era. That's the line.
It's over a decade.
You can't go past
It's
the
over.
PS2.
So a decade.
It's over a decade and it's 2 systems ago.
PS2
so it's
is
still
retro?
retro. Yeah,
Okay.
still retro.
PS2 is retro.
See, in my head, I'm going like
Well, you go to
64,
Well,
actually, that makes
PS1.
sense. That makes sense.
It's
No, I'm
still
like
over.
like PS1 and 64. That's where I usually
If
go.
it's two systems back, then pretty much is
'Cause I've
retro.
seen
But I
some
mean, you
P-
could.
Yeah, I've seen some PS2 games where I'm like, yeah, it's still passable. To
Final
be honest.
Fantasy X.
Like Curse of Darkness is PS2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, that could have a remake, but I'm like,
But then you look at the date and
It's
you're like,
sketchy,
damn,
though.
that's a long time ago,
I
man.
think PS2, I think you can, but you don't have to.
Like,
PS1, God, please.
I
remake
never
it.
want to see
But
a
360.
Devil May Cry 3 remake. I never want to
No,
see a
no,
remake
no,
of that.
No, but
Imagine
Dead
though.
Space is.
No.
Imagine.
But could you
It'd be like
imagine that
5.
entire game is co-op?
See, there we go. That makes more sense.
Imagine.
It's
It's always
They've
good.
been
man.
toying around with
It's
it
always
for too
good.
long. They need to make that.
they should make a
The
Devil
next
May Cry
one will,
co-
because there's nothing left to do in that game. There's
Mega
nothing
Man.
left.
Put Mega Man in the game.
Mega Man?
Yeah.
Put Mega Man.
Capcom. They put Mega Man.
Put
everywhere.
Mega Man
Just put Mega Man.
Cry. Just put him in there.
Hell yeah.
For any reason.
Yeah, just throw them in there. Fuck it.
Put
The
Ryu.
Mega Buster could be an unlockable weapon.
I wouldn't be
Chun-Li.
surprised.
Chun-Li. Just throw her in there.
After the Michael Jackson dance, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Mega Buster.
Oh, boy.
Former developers recently released a canceled Superman game footage.